Because the fact of the matter is there's a beast at our door, and that's the beast of climate change. It seems like the whole world is on fire. We need to defend ourselves from climate change. We need to decarbonize our economy so these fires don't ravage us. There's not enough fire trucks in the world to protect us if we don't stop climate change.
And there seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be.
Welcome to the show. You're one-on-one with Wes the Sports Guy here on YouTube, BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey, and online all the time at westhesportsguy.com. Bookmark that site if you want to get all my social media links, the podcast link. Leave a 5-star review if you like what you're listening to on all the various podcast platforms. You can get that link conveniently located for you at westhesportsguy.com. Also, my NFL preview is currently in the works. It will be posted just before the weekend, kickoff weekend in the NFL season. Again, cannot stress enough to bookmark westhesportsguy.com for all those weekly reviews of the NFL. My previews that are coming up shortly, currently in the works. Again, bookmark westhesportsguy.com for everything of the 2023 NFL season. Without further ado, it is time for my top 5 storylines for the upcoming NFL season.
You play to win the game, but they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Cannot play with them, cannot win with them, cannot coach with them, can't do it.
My number 5 storyline going into the upcoming NFL season is how will the running back market begin to take shape going forward in the NFL? We had a big hullabaloo about running backs and whether or not they were going to get new contracts, big paydays, holdouts, all kinds of stuff, and essentially not a whole lot happened. It was basically the status quo going forward as the players need to really hamper down their own players' union as to why is it that most of the best running backs in the NFL are not getting a lot of the big paydays that they seem to think that they actually deserve going into the NFL, which some absolutely do, but do they deserve to be paid like a quarterback or a top-flight wide receiver, considering that the league has now become so pass-happy and less emphasis on running the ball? It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out, but the likes of Jonathan Taylor, the king himself, Derrick Henry of the Tennessee Titans, Austin Eckler, Dalvin Cook, just to name a few, those or some of the names that are going to be top-flight free agents going into next season, and it's going to be interesting to see how they play this season in order to get what they believe they are owed and what they are worth for their big contracts going forward in their NFL careers. My number 4 storyline going into the upcoming NFL season is Aaron Rodgers, the new quarterback of the New York Jets. If you've been watching Hard Knocks this summer going into the NFL season, Aaron Rodgers is now the quarterback for the New York Jets, and it's been rather interesting to see how it's playing out so far behind the scenes, if you want to call it that, with Hard Knocks. But it's also looking like it could be a boon for the New York Jets. However, as I warned when it became official with Aaron Rodgers being traded to the New York Jets, this could be eerily similar, if not exactly the same, the way it played out when Brett Favre got traded to the New York Jets. It started out great. Looked like the Jets were well on their way to at least a playoff spot in the NFL, but it crashed and burned as hard as it did with the beginning of the season being so promising. Now, the same thing could happen with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, or it could be a full flip and be a terrible start to the season, and then they come on late to then clutch a playoff spot. But it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out with Aaron Rodgers, now the quarterback for the New York Jets, which most of us all agreed last season all the New York Jets needed was a competent quarterback, and they probably would have made it to the playoffs. A number 3 storyline going into the NFL season will be who is going to take over the NFC. It is ripe for a team to just absolutely dominate it this coming season, as it was last year with the Philadelphia Eagles, as we saw them march their way onto a Super Bowl appearance and an eventual loss to the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Is it going to be the Eagles again this year? Will the 49ers actually be competing with the Eagles to take reign over the entirety of the NFC? Or could there be a surprise team? Could the Dallas Cowboys maybe decide, hey, we're actually worth all this talent and all this admiration being America's team, And are they going to now dethrone the Philadelphia Eagles and become the top dog in the NFC? Is there going to be the Detroit Lions possibly? And I'm kidding. It's not going to be the Detroit Lions. But regardless, it's a very weak conference again in the NFC. We're not even going to talk about the NFC South. That is the worst division in football going into this year, like it was last year. But who is it going to be? Who's going to be the top team in the NFC? Leave a comment below. Who do you think is going to be the top team in the NFC? I'd like to know what your opinion is on that. My number 2 storyline going into the upcoming NFL season is the AFC is still the dominant conference, with now adding, as I mentioned earlier, quarterback Aaron Rodgers going to play for the New York Jets. You have him going along with Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. You have the Baltimore Ravens keeping Lamar Jackson. You have Tua Tagovailoa still with the Miami Dolphins and that high-powered offense, the way it showcased itself last year when he was healthy and on the field. Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills also still around. AFC West still has a couple powerhouse quarterbacks in Justin Herbert for the LA Chargers, and not to mention the defending MVP and defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, quarterbacking that team. It is a stacked conference. Good luck picking the actual 7 teams that will be making the playoffs, but rest assured, I will be having those on my NFL preview at westthesportsguy.com. And my number 1 storyline going into the NFL season is the Kansas City Chiefs. They are the new New England Patriots. Yes, we've been quite ecstatic that the New England Patriots are no more with the dynasty that they once had with still current head coach Bill Belichick and the former now retired quarterback in Tom Brady, no longer there, hasn't been there for quite a while now. We've been so happy to see that the New England Patriots dynasty is basically not what it was. Unfortunately, now we've had a new team take over as the dynasty of the NFL, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs with now current head coach, Andy Reid, and the quarterback Patrick Mahomes. They are now the new New England Patriots. They've appeared in 6 consecutive conference championship games. They are going for what they hope on their side will be a 3rd Super Bowl victory in the last 5 Super Bowls in totality. It is just an amazing run that they're on right now. And again, something we haven't seen since the New England Patriots not that long ago. Unfortunately, going forward, I'm afraid for the rest of the NFL, this is still the Kansas City Chiefs' domain until somebody actually defeats them, which has happened. It can happen. The Bengals did it a couple years ago in the AFC title game. Can it be the same Cincinnati Bengals doing it? Or could it be a new team in the AFC doing it? Who knows? Or it could be a team in the NFC actually beating them in a Super Bowl. Granted, it was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a few years ago with said Tom Brady as their quarterback. But that's going to be the one storyline going forward, is who could possibly finally stymie, dethrone, whatever you want to call it, the new dynasty in the NFL of the Kansas City Chiefs. Leave a comment below. Which are your top NFL storylines going into the upcoming NFL season? Is your team the one that's going to be making it to the Super Bowl and winning it? Leave a comment below. I'd love to get your opinion on the upcoming NFL season. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell below to get notified when all the latest videos are posted on this channel, whether it be at YouTube, BitChute, Rumble, or Odyssey. Bookmark westthesportsguy.com for all my social media links. The football preview, the weekly recaps, it's all going to be posted for you when the NFL season gets underway at westthesportsguy.com. Thank you again for tuning in. Enjoy the upcoming NFL season, and I will see you next time.